Hello friends, welcome back to my blind playthrough of Planescape Torment. This is episode 19, and this is the episode when everything changes. My main goal for this episode is to get good. I will try to pause during combat. I will try to think strategically about what to do. I will investigate all the abilities that I can use and try to think about using them. Because I realized that until now, I've been kind of treating these gang encounters in the city as a nuisance. You know, they were preventing me from sort of exploring the city, and frankly, I thought they were gratuitous. But it's actually kind of true that I didn't really learn much from them, which is probably why they're there in the first place. You know, I'm supposed to learn how to do combat here so that I can do it better in places like the mausoleum into which we will eventually have to come back to. So yeah, anyway, last episode we performed some errands for Mebbeth, and she wants us to go back to the marketplace yet another time. Now unfortunately it's been a few days since I played, so I will probably get lost on the way again. But no matter, that will just give us a chance to practice our combat skills even more. What time is it? It seems to be nighttime, which is which seems to be the best time to really do this. We are looking for a merchant, aren't we? And that merchant's name would be Kossah-Jai, which the journal says that she's probably the only merchant I haven't spoken to yet. I find that very strange, as I seem to remember her name. It rings a bell. Then again, I've met so many characters in the game that I think I would be easily forgiven to forget some of them, as I have on numerous occasions. All right, what do we have here? So, some of you guys commented about how to approach these encounters, just in very general terms. Saying specifically that Mort is kind of a tank and that he can take a lot of hits, which is something that I've noticed, and it's weird to me. I mean, the fact is he doesn't really take hits, right? He evades them, thanks to his very low armor class. So it makes sense to send him first. Yeah. Now, I don't really like micromanaging fights in games like this. Why isn't this working? See that? But it seems that I will kind of have to do it. Honestly, come to think of it, I haven't really played too many real-time with Paul's games up until this point. So that might be part of the problem, and yeah. Wait, why is 1-year attack? Oh, that's right, we ran away from 1-year. That's right, okay. Let's beat the shit out of him. See, that was professional. No health left. I mean, no health lost, almost. Small slip there. I'm trying to find the quick loot thing again. Okay. High quality stiletto, cloth charm. That's another thing. We should be using these consumables. Though, admittedly, I haven't really been using them because I thought to save them for the larger encounters, right? But it doesn't really hurt to know how to at least use them. So I will try to do that more. Alright, combat music can stop playing now. And we have more enemies. What a surprise. What? So yeah, I guess the strategy here is really just to send Mort in first, because they seem to sort of focus on him. Although it doesn't seem to work every time. This guy just completely passed Mort and is now heading for us. But yeah, this is already way better than what I was doing last time, which was running around like a bumbling idiot. You know, with this kind of advanced strategy, we might even be able to take on Rotten William now. Who knows?
What's up, Chief? Sure, why not?
All right, let's say I try to. Hang on, why isn't Mort doing anything? I've selected Mort, I clicked this guy, like, a couple of times, and Mort is just standing there and waiting for him to come to us, which is... that's the point of me selecting Mord was so that he would go ahead and attack the guy first. Okay, I still have to figure out this little thing, but I mean, already this is much better than what I was doing before. Now, the hardest thing here is to find the way to the market. So, northeastern or southwestern? I really should know this. Hang on, let me just check this part. I think southeastern would work in this case. You know what? Let's take the scenic route. I don't really care. I'm itching to beat the shits out of these thugs who have been harassing me for the last couple of episodes. I've been too kind to them, you know? I've been too benevolent with them. I mean, the strategy is good. It's just that I'm not really managing to successfully pull it off because this thug focused on the nameless one, and now my main character is halfway to being dead, which, yeah, not the plan.
I'm gone.
The streets are dangerous at this time of the day, so we really have to think about how to approach these more strategically. The good thing about all this, well, another good thing about all this is that we now have things to sell. We now have all these necklaces and stuff like that, and where am I even going? I was going there, okay. I wouldn't bother with these thugs. Another reason to take the scenic route here is that I've sort of missed some things along the way, right? Missed some characters, missed some... and also I just went to meet some old friends, like Mornsfortrees here. Mornsfortrees smiles widely upon seeing you. Ah, my friend, you've returned. Something you wished of me. I don't know. Can I ask you anything new? Oh, that's right. Any change in the trees yet? No, not yet, friend. I still have hope, though. I speak to people every day. Okay, that's good. Have a good one. You gotta check in on your friends, you know? Okay, we seem to have one singular thug heading for us. So, Mort.
Okay.
You go ahead. You go ahead like this. See,
that?
They just ignored him completely. The kind of damage Mort does is crazy, though. He does 10 damage. How does he do it? Mort's bite is 1 to 3 piercing. Hang on. Although the amount of damage he can do with this bite is relatively small. Small! Compared to me, I can do like 3 to 6. This says 1 to 3, but he regularly seems to do like 10. Which I assume is like a critical hit, right? That's what it kind of feels like. It feels like a big, impactful hit. So, I guess his stats allow him to do that quite frequently. His stats being what in this case? See, I'm trying to learn here. Hang on, his Thaco is 17? I thought it was... Okay. Okay, I'm just super confused now. I thought Armor Class and Thaco were the same thing. Huh. Does it say anything about critical hits? Am I just blind here? To hit, damage, weight allowance, constitution bonus level. Okay, no idea. No idea what's going on there, but we will figure it out eventually. Again, let me try and select Mort and send him ahead. Can I do that? I think if he attacks one of the thugs first, then they switch their attention to him. But so initially when they see us, they seem to sort of focus on just a random character. It could be the character who's like the closest to them. It's really difficult to tell because we're all standing together, right? So they seem to focus on one specific character, and it feels to me that the only way to really change this is to damage them with a different character, right? So that's what we're trying to do here. That's what Mort is doing when he manages to successfully draw their attention to himself. I think. Maybe. Possibly. See, not only am I trying to think of theories about the lore of the game, now I'm even making theories about how this game works. This is a riveting combat here. See, I should just send in Mort alone. He can do it. He can handle it on his own. He takes no damage, virtually no damage, and he just completely destroys everyone. Okay, new theory. Mort is a god. Mort is one of the powers. He's a god. He's a godlike being come to help the Nameless One for whatever reason. That's my newest theory, and I'm sticking with it. This whole shtick with being just a flying head and being the comedic relief and the witty guy in the team and everything like that. That's a ruse, you know? He's really just a godlike being. He could destroy us all with his mere stare if he wanted.
Okay.
Done.
What's up, Chief? Okay.
See, now that I see the value of Mort, now that I see how powerful Mort really is, it kind of begs the question: what are all the other characters for, except for just interactions, you know? I mean, Dakon seems to be able to hit pretty well. If he hits, if he doesn't die first, he seems quite fragile. So he's half fighter, half mage, sort of a hybrid character, right? So I guess that makes sense for him. Anyway, hopefully we are about to become a mage character ourselves. Which means that, holy shit, there are so many of them. Which means that the Nameless One could actually become a valuable member of the team. Which, up until now, he hasn't really been. Despite being the main character. Then again, maybe Mort is the main character. You know? This godlike being come to... well, not Earth, but Sigil, just to...
I'm gone.
Anyway, a funny thing about Sigil, so you guys mentioned in the comments that the correct pronunciation actually is Sigil, and that Sigil kind of marks me as an Outlander. Which, okay, first of all, Sigil is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But, you know, I'm willing to come to terms with it. But I will keep pronouncing it as Sigil, because I am indeed an Outlander. I'm not at home in these lands, and it would be dishonest of me to pretend otherwise, you know? I mean, am I an Outlander? The Nameless One seems to have lived here hundreds of years ago, apparently. But I, as the player, am definitely an Outlander, so that's what we're doing. Who is this lady? Meir'am? Ash-Mantle. Hang on, have I seen these people before? Where am I? Okay, I have not. Never mind. New characters time. This old woman stands silently by the wall, staring off into the distance. She seems to be unconcerned with the flow of traffic around her, and clutches a wooden pole from which dozens of small fish are dangling. A wooden pole with dozens of small fish. Oh, hello, sir. She squints at you for a moment, trying to discern your identity. Oh my. Here I was thinking you one of me regular customers. She proffers her fish pole. Tuna, sir? Mackerel? Sea cucumber? No fish. I think I had some questions. Her mouth presses down into a tight-lipped frown, and she stares off over your shoulder. I can look behind myself, see what she's staring at. Interesting. I don't get options like this frequently, you know? An option to do something instead of saying something in a conversation. You can see nothing of interest behind you. As you turn back to her, you catch her looking at you. She looks away quickly, resuming her staring off into the distance once more. Ah, okay. What are you trying to do here? Are you really an old lady? Are you just someone else pretending to be an old lady? What are you doing here? Yeah, let's call her out. Do I look familiar to you? Goodness, no. She pauses for a moment. Aye, you do. You're saying you've seen me before, then? I think, you are a man with your very likeness, sir. It was so long ago. I mean, it would have to be more than just you seeing me. It would have to... I would have had to leave a lasting impression for you to remember me after so long, you know? Tell me. Well, sir, you see, me sight's not so good now. It wasn't back then neither. But I thought I saw you walking past with a small group trailing along behind you. Walking past with a small group trailing along behind me. This kind of seems to go together well with my theory that I was once a gang leader like Farad. Which I think I've mentioned that theory, but I haven't maybe really presented it. I mean, what's there to present? That's the entire theory, you know? Just sometimes things come up that make me think that I was a dangerous criminal. I was gonna say a dangerous criminal like Farad. I have no idea whether Farad is dangerous or even really a criminal. He seems to be a scumbag, but a dangerous criminal might be overstating it. I don't know. We'll see when we actually find him. But yeah, so what sort of people did I hang out with? It's hard to say, sir. It was so long ago and you walked by so quick like. Okay, I don't buy that. How could you remember me after so long if I just walked past you on the street? But I remember now, the way you held your head up. There was a woman following you, trying to stop you. To get you to turn around, speak to her, but you pushed her away. Well, the first one who comes to mind is obviously Leonara, right? And my past with Leonara seems to be quite mysterious at this point. Maybe it would be a good idea to come back to her and talk to her once again. Even if she has nothing new to say, I think it would do me well to remind myself of what she told me. Because it's been, I don't know, 14 episodes, 15 episodes, something like that. I'm still kind of hung up on this, on the fact that this woman remembers me, though. Like, what did I do that was so notable that she just still remembers me? Maybe it's not what I did. Maybe it's how I looked, even back then, you know? So I think the game told me before that I've died various times, right? That's a fact. So did I look like this? Like a walking corpse, I mean. Did I look like this even back then when she met me? Because that would make you remember the encounter. Well, what happened then? What happened after I pushed her away? Beautiful woman she was. Looked so sad, so angry, all at once. You know, you really can see a lot for someone who claims to have had bad vision even back then, you know. She stood there for a moment, then followed along behind you just the same, hustling to catch up. Interesting. Farewell, fishwife. No, I'm kidding. You said there was a group. Who else was there? Farad. Right? Farad. I bet Farad was there. She shrugs. There was at least 2 other gentlemen with you, sir. The only one I remember too clearly, though, was tall, thin. Reeked of bub, he did. I smelled him from across the way. Looked like he hadn't bathed in ages, too. He followed you close, he did, and never said a word. Acted like the woman wasn't even there, even when she bumped against him trying to stop you. That's all I remember, sir. I will give her some copper for her time. I wonder whether this is going to appear in the journal. No, it seems like it's not gonna. Huh. Gotta remember it then. At least 2 other gentlemen, and she points out this one in particular. Reeked of bub. Even the word reeked kind of reminds me of Reekwind, but that's probably not that, right? Reekwind's name is unrelated to alcohol. How much do I give the fishwife? I don't know, man. 5 maybe? Oh my! Why, thank you, sir, most kindly. May the lady's shadow pass you over. Thanks, and farewell. Huh, what a strange encounter. Nice to get another tidbit from my past, you know? In this game, you kind of find them in quite unlikely places often. Which is another thing that
This is probably the worst place we can be in Sigil at the worst time.
which reminds me of Disco Elysium, very much so. Anyway, Ash-Mantle. You see a dustman in long black robes and a pale face. Unlike the dustman you saw in the mortuary, however, this man looks confused and is glancing about as if looking for something. When he spots you, he raises his hand to attract your attention. Interesting that the game singles out the dustman I saw in the mortuary. It almost sounds like they expected me to go here right after leaving the mortuary, or very soon after, instead of running all over Sigil like an idiot, you know? When he spots you, he raises his hand to attract your attention. See, I said Sigil right there. Now that I've talked about it, and I know that Sigil is correct, I probably will change my accent, even though I said like 10 minutes ago that I wouldn't. Greetings, my good dustman. The man seems relieved that you are speaking to him. He bows slightly. Thank you for hearing me, traveler. I am known as Ash-Mantle, one of the Dustmen sect. I was wondering if you could direct me. I don't know the area very well, and I'm looking for a certain establishment, a bar that those of my sect frequent. Do you know of such a place? Well, of course I do. Now, interesting that you would call the Dustmen a sect, because that's usually a derogatory term, isn't it? My understanding of the word sect is that, well, it has several meanings, right? As someone who was kind of interested in Catholic theology and history and all that during his teenage years, I know that there were... No, actually, no, I'm confusing that with the word cult, which is, again, a very similar word in the regard that it may have had a more neutral meaning once, but today it basically just means a religious group I don't like, you know? I don't even like the word faction, to be honest. I've never really liked it. To me, it might just be that English is my second language, and I encounter this this word most often in discussions of video games, but to me this term feels just so theoretical. Like, I find it unimmersive when it actually appears in video games. That's just my idiolect, though. That's just the way I view language. I don't think there's anything objectively correct about that. Anyway, so why are you calling it a sect? Wouldn't it be more appropriate to say faction in this game's world, apparently? The Dustman nods. Well, yes, faction. I meant faction. sect, faction, they are much the same thing, really. Do you happen to know of this bar that my faction frequents? I've heard of it. I'd be willing to help you if you'll answer some questions for me. He nods. Your request is reasonable. Tell me where I might find the Gathering Dust bar, and I will be happy to answer any of your questions. Okay, so I gotta divulge the information first. I have no reasons to lead him astray. The bar you want is by the mortuary. Orient yourself by the mortuary front gate and walk directly southwest. You can't miss it. I can, but you can't. The Dustman smiles. Thank you very much, traveler. I appreciate your kindness. The people of the Hive are rarely helpful in such matters. Yeah, tell me about it. None of them have managed to tell me where my journal is yet. Probably with Farad, right? Okay, let's ask some questions then. Yeah, speaking of, I'm looking for a missing journal. Do you know where I might find one? Obviously not. This guy doesn't even know where the local bar is. I do not know where you might find such a thing. I mourn its loss. Okay, that's a little too much. Why would you mourn its loss? That's kind of disingenuous to me. Oh, that's right. Why would you mourn its loss? I thought Dustman didn't value possessions. The man shrugs slightly. I am not without sympathy for your loss. There are many things of value in one's life. Yeah, so this guy doesn't sound like a convicted, that's the word, wrong word there. But you know what I'm trying to say, a convicted Dustman, right? Someone convinced of the veracity of the Dustman philosophy. I mean, it started off with him calling the organization a sect, and now it's going into things like I mourn your loss of a thing, even though my faction doesn't really hold things in high regard or any regard really. You have unusual views for a Dustman. The man blinks. Well, I am not a common Dustman. Yeah, it's kind of obvious, really. Who are you then? The man nods a little uncomfortably. Why, I am Ash-Mantle, one of the Ninth Circle. Circle. Hang on, I've heard of the Dustman Circles, but I don't think I wrote it down, and I'm kind of hazy on the details. Like, the circles are ranks, right? Sort of subdivisions within the faction, but the Nameless One's memory is gonna help me there. Ninth Circle, there is no such thing. Yeah, there were like 8 circles, right? So is the Ninth Circle like a secret organization? Well, but if it were a secret, he wouldn't really just say it out loud to me, a complete stranger. But maybe it's like an unofficial organization that people know exists, or, you know. And the way he nods uncomfortably, I guess being a member of the Ninth Circle is definitely frowned upon in the Dustman community, is what I'm gathering from this. There is no such thing. He suddenly tenses up. I don't have time to debate the practices and rankings of the Dustman sect with you, so if you'll excuse me... Okay, hold on here. I answered your question. Do I grab his hand? Do I go for the hand grab? Kind of feels weird, but if I don't, he might just walk away on me. Who are you really? Ash-Mantle suddenly takes off running. Well, I mean, if I grabbed his hand, maybe I could have triggered a combat encounter right there and been forced to kill him, which would have been the worst option, so... He's just running away. Hang on. He's still hostile? Okay, this is... Okay, why did he turn hostile there? I think the game just did it to prevent me from entering dialogue with him, because when you are in, you know, combat, you can't really enter dialogue. Hang on, you can. You definitely can. Okay, let's try it, maybe?
Come on in, Basher. We have the best blades in town.
Huh. Didn't work. Anyway, let's remember this guy.
Can't afford to get caught off guard, Cutter. We sell only top of the line.
Alright, I realize that my notes are just a complete mess. You know, I like to take notes in games, but I usually have a lot of ambitions for taking these meticulous, articulate notes that just remind me of everything I need to hear, and then it turns into a jumbled mess like this. It's literally just a list of random terms, and the fact that I'm recording this doesn't help because I don't want to take up half the episode with me taking notes, but I also don't want to edit that sort of stuff out because I'm too lazy to edit these to put too much effort into editing these videos, specifically like the Let's Play type videos. Okay, where was I even going? Southeastern portion sounds Hang on. I am in the right part of Sigil. This is the marketplace. That's where I was actually meant to go this whole time. I thought I was in a completely different place. Now, Kossah-Jai, yes, I definitely approached you. I think you might have rejected me for whatever reason, or maybe not. Maybe I bought something from you. Well, anyway, we are here to fetch some ink. And fetch some ink we will, or we will try anyway. Oh no, I should have ended the combat encounter, and I'm gonna have to listen to this music all the time. Not that it's bad music, but it gets old after the 257th hour. The old woman gives you a gummy smile. Some fish, my child. Fish heads? A cloying fish smell surrounds her. Yeah, Mebbeth said you sell ink. She sent me to purchase some. Ink? She chuckles. Nay, sir, I sell no ink. I sell just fish. Are you sure? Mebbeth, the midwife in Rackpicker's Square. She mentioned you specifically. I have some thoughts about this series of errands that Mebbeth has sent me on, but well, wait for this conversation to finish. Heh. Well, Kossah-Jai was me dad's name, and me granddad's name, so could be any of us. Yet they're both in the dead book, so only this Kossah-Jai matters. No idea what she's on about. A midwife in the Picker Square, you say? She thinks for a moment. Don't know her, I don't. What? What do you mean, don't know her? She's the local midwife. Like, she would be a person of note. Now, I'm not saying you really need her services, because you're presumably not gonna get pregnant at this age, but what do you mean you don't know her? See, now my mind goes to like, does Mebbeth even live here? Did she just, does she keep her presence secret? Like, is she a... That makes no sense, though. She's the midwife. Of course people know about her. I mean, unless she lied about being a midwife. I've never really seen anyone take anyone go for her because of her services. Okay, I swear this theory is getting crazy. Let's abandon it. So, you don't have any ink then? Well, I can't say that's much of a surprise. I swear, this Mebbeth, she's having me run in circles. Now hold on. Your midwife friend's not all wrong. I know how you can get ink, but it may not be the ink you're looking for. The ink I'm thinking of bleeds from the gills of a Brogota fin, it does. Brogota fin, is that like a fish? Okay, so it bleeds ink. She frowns. Aye. Thing is, that fish not for eating. It's got a horrible taste. Scalds the tongue. You can ask Meir'am. She pitches her fish cell down the street a southerly way. She cackles. She might have one of them fish she needs on her bow. We actually just saw her.
Updated my journal.
Okay, I'm trying to... I'm waiting for this. Oh, there we go. Okay, thoughts about Mebbeth's quest. So, she sent me on 3 errands, always to the same place. And I think it was the second errand that sort of made me realize that this is not just like a random series of errands. Like, they are tied to me learning the art. She's already trying to teach me something through these errands, and I don't know. What exactly is it? I mean, I guess the first thing I can think of is patience, which is like, yeah. I mean, I guess that's useful. I didn't get why it's useful for the art in particular, though. Maybe obedience? I don't know. When I questioned her, when I said like, okay, why are you having me run on these errands all over again? Like, are you just what are you, senile or stupid, or what are you doing? Like, what is this? And she got real mad at me, and she was like, oh, you're gonna do this, you know? If you want me to teach you anything, you're gonna do this. So I don't know if she's like if she just likes controlling people, or if this is somehow a requirement for me to be a really good mage, or I don't know. I don't get the whole picture here, you know? I'm kind of focused on the details here, but I still can't really zoom out and understand the entire thing here. A Bergota fin. Okay, well, let's go to the fish seller, which is right here. Oh, and another thing. So, this is an old woman. Kossah-Jai is an old woman. Mebbeth is an old woman. What if all of them are just secretly Mebbeth? You know? I can't really fathom the purpose for why she would send me to another version of her, which sends me to another version of her to fetch something for the first version of her. I don't really understand that. But what if she's like playing all these different characters, you know, pretending to be these different people? I admit that's a feeble theory. That's a very weak theory right there. Pretty much the only reason for it is that these are all 3 old women, which it's kind of a ridiculous thing to base this theory on. Because obviously there can just be 3 separate old women in this world, and of course it would actually make sense for them to know each other, since they're so old. Except that Kossah-Jai doesn't seem to know old Mebbeth, which is weird. I don't understand what that's all about. Anyway, let's talk to Meir'am, which I'm now calling Mebbeth the Third. Well, met again, sir. What can I do for you? Well, have you heard of a Bergota fin? I was told it bleeds ink from its gills. Sounds like bullshit to me, but you would know better. She blinks, then nods. Aye, that fish is a strange one, it is. Not many have heard of it unless it want to eat it. Difficult to kill, and even in death it still seems to live. Not many want to latch their teeth around something that still writhes. Okay, do you have one?
Updated my journal.
Aye. But the ink, you'll need something to carry it in. Have you a bowl or cup, perchance? Or a tankard. Maybe one of the merchants is selling one. Farewell. Alright, I feel like this is actually the part of the quest that requires me to engage with the game's mechanics. This is not going to be advanced by just picking the relevant dialogue option, right? So I'm going to buy a tankard here, huh?
Did you see that?
Always useful to have one. Get him, Mort. Get him, you can do it. You know what? Okay. Doesn't matter. I accidentally clicked, not licked, jeez. clicked on a hive thug. Yeah, let's talk to him, I guess. You see a heavy-set looking man. He has a stone-faced expression. Hi. The man looks at you for a moment, grunts, then raises his hand, revealing a wicked dagger. He smiles evilly and begins twirling it in a menacing act. Okay, farewell, and then he attacks me, of course.
All right.
This is weird. These
Yeah?
thugs, they are not...
This
They are
is
just...
probably the worst place we can be in Sigil at the worst time.
They are not
See
characters. They are just mustache-twirling villain caricatures of evil people, you know? Literally, the words twirl and evilly were in the description there. They are dehumanized. I don't know, I guess I was hoping that I could really talk to one of them about their life philosophy of robbing people and killing people.
Done.
Shame I can't, but, well, maybe I can at some point. Okay, now which merchant was actually selling stuff here? Let's try this one. Ah, the finest steel in Sigil. Which is not really what I'm looking for. I'm scrolling through the wrong inventory again. It's so counterintuitive to have my things here and their things there, isn't it? I guess that's just the way we've been conditioned as gamers in the modern sort of era. Then again, I could just sell some things I don't need here, right? Yeah, this kind of reminds me that I recently released a video talking about all the PC games that I've played, so if you want to kind of know all my presuppositions and where I'm coming from and which games I have experience with, feel free to check that out. Anyway, promo over. Okay, this merchant... No, this is the one selling the lim-lims. Gisgorl is not... Pewter tankards! Hang on, that's exactly what we're looking for here. This was the merchant who I kind of suspected of trying to seduce me. The woman smiles warmly at your approach. Hello again, sir. And what would you like to purchase this day, Well, what are you selling? I sell plates, cups, jugs, tankards, cutlery, and the like, sir. Yes. I need something to hold ink in. Do you have a tankard or a goblet for sale? She nods. Oh yes, many kinds. They range in price from a few coppers to several hundred. I mean, I am looking for the cheapest one, but I'm kind of disappointed I don't have the option to buy the most expensive one, you know? She raises an eyebrow. She reaches into a crate at her side and then throws a battered-looking tankard to you. It is covered in dents, and its handle looks like it is about to fall off. This one looks like it was used on someone's skull. What if someone tried to beat Mort with this one? Random thought, completely random, but my first thought was, okay, maybe the nameless one got into a fight and someone used this tankard to hit them. And then I was like, no. Hang on, who do I know who is actually just a skull? That would be Mort. Kind of random, I know, that there's no point in... There's no reason to think that one of us was hit by this tankard, but she smiles slightly. It'll do, thanks and farewell. Okay, updated my journal I have, so let's remove the search term. It's kind of cool that it stays there until you delete it. I'm ready to take it to Meir'am and show it to her. Okay, I was just making sure that I should go back to Meir'am, which, then again, it makes perfect sense. Why wouldn't I? Hello. Well met again, sir. I got a tankard. Can I get the ink from the fish in it? She nods and plucks a fish from her pole. It twitches as she grabs it, then starts lashing about as she begins to twist it like a rag. She wrings it until bluish-black ichor begins to trickle from the fish's gills. When your tankard is almost full, she relaxes her grip and throws the twitching fish into a sack at her side. Yes, thank you for that lovely visual. And farewell.
Updated my journal.
There it is. We are going back to Mebbeth. I finally got the ink, a whole tankard full. Now I can take this foul mess back to Mebbeth. Who knows? Maybe I can get her to drink it. My character has this sort of super sassy attitude in their journal, which I don't know. It gives my character a character, but it kind of goes against the idea of role playing. I feel like, you know, it's kind of it's actually the same thing in Morrowind. You know, Morrowind is the other game that I post on this channel. So in
I'm
Morrowind,
gone.
what happens is that
Sure, why not?
very much like in here, you have different options to pick, you know, in dialogue, and you can just choose to approach situations in whichever way. But then in your journal, sometimes you get these parts where your character just clearly expresses what they feel about something, and you're like, hang on, I did not roleplay this, you know. And it's like it's completely unnecessary stuff, but it's just there, you know. Like, it's stuff that the journal would do without. Hang on, what did I accidentally paused there? Okay. I was super confused what happened there for a bit.
What?
And I don't know, I just feel like that sort of stuff is it kind of goes against the role playing, and it can be funny, but I think the game would be better off without it, perhaps. I mean, it still remains to be seen in this game, you know. We're 18 episodes in, but I haven't really gotten that far, to be honest.
All right.
It's really only now that we're starting to make some actual progress through, well, not the main quest quite yet, but we are doing important stuff at this point, not just meeting people for the sake of meeting people. By the way, did you see that? I made my way to Old Mebbeth without a hitch. I'm basically a pro at this game at this point, you know? Mebbeth, my dear. Mebbeth is tugging at the mass of greenish lime starched rags you brought from Giscorl. She seems to be purposely fraying the edges as if to peel them apart somehow. When she hears you approach, she turns. Hi, child. Here's that ink you wanted. 1,000 XP for that. Mebbeth takes the tankard of ink from you, then sniffs it. Prime ink, fresh it is. Aye. She nods at you. You've done well, child. All I've asked. Now I ask you again, after all you've seen, do you still want to learn the art? After all I've seen. Well, what did I see? I saw Giscorl, whose mind got completely twisted by the art. He's basically lost his self, right? I've seen an old woman squeeze a fish to make the ink come out. What was the first quest? What was the first errand there? I should have checked in my journal before I began the dialogue here, but I can't really check now, so I'll check right after. Yes, after all, the guiding goal of your errands was to test my persistence, was it not? Mebbeth smiles, then nods. Yes, mayhap, child, mayhap. And that's not all. You knew who I had to see to accomplish each errand, didn't you? I don't know, did she? Mebbeth nods again, slower this time. Mayhap, child, mayhap. Even so, what did your senses tell you about them? Mourns for trees. That's right, we met Mourns for trees as part of the quest. Well, Mourns for trees showed me that my beliefs affect the world around me. Ah. Giscorl taught me that the ritual is a wasted effort if the purpose of the ritual is ignored. Meir'am taught me that no matter how much I think I know, there is still much I can learn from another's eyes. What? Okay, I feel like an idiot here. Okay, sure. The first thing I did learn, yeah, I understood that. Giscor taught me that the ritual is a wasted effort if the purpose of the ritual is ignored. I guess I should remember more details about the encounter with Giscor. It's honestly... Meir'am, though. No matter how much I think I know, there is still much I can learn from another's eyes. I don't get it. How did I learn that from... I don't get it. Hopefully I will get it with time. But the Nameless One is smarter than me. So, yeah. Which is, I guess that's a good thing. I mean, he is about to become a mage, so you gotta be pretty smart for that, right? Mebbeth is silent for a moment. Then she walks slowly over to you and touches you on the cheek. Hang on, but this is kind of ridiculous. Like, my character came up with this masterful sort of... He managed to masterfully identify what the purpose of these errands was. All three of them, by the way. But in the journal, he would just complain about them and not talk about the greater purpose behind them. Which I find weirdly inconsistent. Oh, child, she sighs. You will be a master sorcerer one day, you will. You have the knowing of it, yet you've come to old Mebbeth for help, you have. What could a midwife teach such a one? I mean, I have the knowing. Of course I do. I have the guy who's obsessed with knowledge right here. You could teach me much, Mebbeth. I want to learn all that you have to teach. 2,000 and unusable item. Okay. So you walk the path then. Mebbeth pauses. Well, first things firstly. Just having the knack for the art isn't enough. You need some means of giving it focus, usually spells. The spells are usually in a book. So the art demands you have a spell book, or it's like a 4 you can cast spells. Can you read? I don't know. Can I? Then let's test it. Can you read this? Mebbeth draws forth a small tattered card. It looks like a recipe. Let's examine it. The writing on the recipe swims before your eyes, each symbol twisting out of focus whenever you try to read it. Almost instinctively, you relax your eyes, allowing them to take in the page all at once. Wow, that's a really interesting way to learn spells. Take something in all at once. Huh. And the symbols suddenly bleed together. The recipe lists measurements, ingredients. It appears to be some minor divination. This is a minor divination, isn't it? It looks like it's a spell that allows the user to see the nature of an item, to see whether it's enchanted or not. That could come in handy. Mebbeth's eyes widen. Who are you to test old Mebbeth so? Are you some fiend? So, is it really extraordinary that I know this all on my own? I mean, the only explanation for that is that I knew it once before, in one of my previous lives. And now, as my memory is coming back to me slowly through doing these things, I don't have to learn this because I, in a sense, already know it. I mean, I am not a fiend, at least to the best of my knowledge. What's wrong?
Updated my journal.
Well, not expecting it, was I? She nods at the recipe, then plucks it out of your hand. What you see, it's written in the language of the art. If you're not a mageling yet, it should be all a swirl jumble of mishmash. She snaps her finger. Yet clear as crystal, you pluck the sense of it right up. Mayhap you tell old Mebbeth why that is? Yes, well, that's what I was saying. I think I may have known once, but forgot. Seeing the symbols just jarred my memory. Or else your natural gift you may have. No matter, no matter. We've just shaved seasons off of your learning, you have. Mebbeth hurrums. And I'd been looking for someone to handle the chores around here, I had. Well, shame that. I mean, if you need help with anything around here, you can still ask. It's the least I can do in exchange for you teaching me. And I know my way to the marketplace now, which is one of the most useful skills to have in this game, I'm sure. No, don't worry yourself about that. She frowns. Well, you can read spells well enough, but spells are no good to you without a book to put them in. Do you happen to have such a book? Mebbeth glances around the hut, and then she catches sight of the black-barred picture frame you made. She picks it up carefully and studies it. This'll do. That thing, it's just a frame, isn't it? Ah, but so are you, child. Still holding the frame, she picks up one of the starched rags you got from Giscorl. With a yank, she pulls off the greenish starch-surfaced film. It flutters in the air like a wispy bit of cloth. Whatever Giscorl uses in the wash, it works better than curing, stretching, and stoning does on a normal rag. Can't afford parchment, I can't. You're using cloth as parchment? That's funny. Parchment? She takes the starchy film and pulls it over the black barred frame, latching the rag's edges onto the hooks around the frame until it looks like a small greenish-black painter's canvas. It's missing something. Well, I guess someone should paint something on it. I'm a horrible painter, though, I'm afraid. Unless I'm not. Unless I can remember that I'm actually this universe's equivalent of Michelangelo. Hang on, Michelangelo was the guy who made statues, wasn't he? Who's a famous painter? Picasso, sure. She nods. Aye, or written on it. She takes the tankard of ink you've given her and sets it down next to her. She dips one of her fingernails into the tankard, then draws it out, mumbling to herself. She begins to scratch symbols onto the frame, one by one, still mumbling to herself. All's done. Mebbeth stands, drying her ink-stained fingernail on her robe. She tilts her head, regarding the strange framed page in front of her. A page for your spellbook it is. She indicates that you should pick it up. Take it. Inside your spellbook are your recipes, your spells, if you will. As long as they sit in the book, though, they're just words. She taps her head. The art demands you pluck the magic out of the book and put them in your attic. Your head, before you can tap their power. Makes perfect sense. That's very much like Baldur's Gate 3, like D&D, right? Go on. You put them in your attic by studying them, memorizing them. You usually need to rest first before you can do this, though. Any questions? I think I understand the basics. I have no questions. Oh, no questions, eh? Hang on, I was gonna... Hang on, were there additional questions? I thought these questions would be just like asking her to repeat stuff that she has just said, but maybe there was something more. No questions, eh? Well, now you should have questions. You know alls about how to memorize spells, do you? You're a sharp one. You sure don't need any more of Mebbeth's words, all the gubbing up your precious time. You're a master sorcerer already. Sorry about that. I meant no questions on what you had said. That's right, that's what I actually meant. Please explain how to memorize these spells. Alright then, here's the dark of how you can memorize the spells. Pick the spells you want to stick in your head from your spellbook afore you goes to sleep. When you wake in the morn, they'll be buzzing in your head like flies, ready to be let out. I like that. That's a good way to do that mechanic. It's definitely not original, but it doesn't have to be. How many spells can I cast? Great question. You can cast only one, mayhap two spells before needing to rest again. As a tiny flitting mageling, there isn't much room in your attic, so use her spells wisely until you get wiser in the art. As your power increases, you'll get more room in your attic for spells. Alright. You can only cast spells you've memorized, so if you want to use the art to say, mend something twice, you need to memorize the spell how many times? I don't know. Hang on, memorizing something twice doesn't really sound right. You can cast only one, mayhap two spells? I don't know. I guess twice is the correct answer here. It doesn't sound right, though. Memorizing something twice makes no sense. You know what? I'll say once, just for the fun. Twice! To cast a spell twice, you need to memorize the spell twice. Alright, I got it, okay? How can I get more spells? Mebbeth shrugs. Keep your eyes and ears out for learning. Even common folks might have some minor magics to teach. There's also scrolls, recipes, books, and even some stranger items that have spells inscribed on them. If you find one, just examine it close and copy it into your book if you want it. I think I've got it. I think I do, yeah. I can also show you more spells if you return, especially when you have a little more of the plains in you. Ah, that's an exciting prospect. I would appreciate it. Thank you very much, Mebbeth. Before you go, child, you'll need some magics for you to whet your appetite. Mebbeth rummages in her robe, then pulls forth 3 small recipes, which she passes to you. You should copy these into your book, so they can go into your attic as soon as possible.
Updated my journal.
Thanks, Mebbeth. Whoa! Holy shit, 5,000 XP. I've never seen that much XP at once. Wait, there's more. Mebbeth fishes a tiny bundle of black cloth from her apron and unrolls it, producing a pair of amber earrings. These'll protect you on your travels, child. I no longer wear them myself, so go ahead and take them. Thanks yet again. Alright, child, don't tarry here any longer. One such as you has other ways to spend one's time rather than hang around old Mebbeth. Now come on, Mebbeth, you're not so old. I don't know, maybe that's disrespectful, you know? Maybe... Because being old also kind of means wisdom, right? Maybe I'm saying she's, silly. Ah, you flatterer. Your tongue is so lined with silver it'd shame a Batazu. Get you hence. Thanks for everything, Mebbeth. Ha! You can thank me by not playing the Adalcove with what you've learned. The art stand many a fool who sought to bend it in ways the art weren't meant to bend. Now get along with you. Farewell then.
I feel stronger.
And that's it. I have trained to become a mage. See, I think this is the first achievement that we're seeing come up in this playthrough of mine, because in the original playthrough, which lasted a couple of hours back in the day, I did actually meet Dakon, though I didn't really get to talk to him, I don't think. But yeah, achievements are a thing. We're playing this game through Steam, so there are definitely some achievements that I will unlock as we play this game. Train to become a mage. Only less than 20% of players. Interesting. To me, mage sounds like the most interesting playstyle for sure. Anyway, so we've learned a lot of different things here. And I will save me trying to learn this and all the other things for the next episode, because if I do it now, I will most definitely forget everything, which I don't want to do. So I'll just pick up all these things here just so I remember that they're there. And yeah, today was a great productive episode, wasn't it? I feel really good about this one. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you join me in the next one as well. Have a good one. Bye.